woman. The teachings of the four great Bodhisattvas on developing self-confidence are complex. So, if any one of these four aspects is missing, it's like a table with four legs. If one leg is gone, it will topple over. It just can't stand firm. You must understand this principle. It is what the Buddha speaks of in all the Mahayana scriptures. Countless texts. All convey the same message. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas understand that. By putting this into practice, they attain great freedom and completeness. We sentient beings are confused and turned upside down. We've lost our self-confidence, acting recklessly and foolishly. So we get caught in the cycle of the six realms, the flow of life and death. It takes courage to break free. But our inherent virtues, whether in clarity or confusion, remain unchanged. No, the Zheng family is also good. You haven't lost a bit of goodness. Why do the Buddhas respect all sentient beings? Even the Wenchang ants are respected. Why does he show respect? Mosquitoes and insects are also sentient beings. Their nature is also complete, just like the Buddhas, but they are confused. It has become like this. He doesn't understand, acting recklessly and foolishly, ending up like this. Even though it has ended up like this, his nature is still complete, without a trace of flaw. Therefore, the Buddhas show him equal respect. Equal reverence. Also equally offering. In the 10 great vows, the Buddha does not praise them. But that respectful offering is definitely equal. Compassion for all. So we must recognize that the heart can definitely provide assurance. Knowing that our sincere heart, in terms of wisdom, is the great body. From the perspective of manifestation, it is the great nirvana. The great nirvana is often referred to as the great measure. Mohammadi nirvana is translated as the Chinese word for a trace of extinction. If we just talk about these three words, great, nirvana. Speaking of these three words, great Dharma arises for the first time. Nirvana is the extinguishing of afflictions. Extinguishing delusions, distinctions, and attachments. That leads to great freedom. Great freedom is liberation. It's all clear. It is awakening, which is prajna wisdom. So the Bodhisattva practices the 6 perfections. These 6 are wisdom. What is the height of wisdom they experience? They live a life of ultimate and complete wisdom. The days we live today are filled with troubled and dazed. What happens is not as good as the present. This is the three virtues which are inherent in self-confidence. Every night is complete with constant joy that never ends. Thus, we refer to the state of constant joy as the four realms. Long, eternal and unchanging. The six benefits alleviate all suffering. In our world, people talk about suffering and joy. This, crying and joy are relative. All relative suffering and joy are completely gone. They've all been cut off. The wooden house signifies mastery. It means being at ease. It is truly achievable, the master. The true nature is pure, completely clean and untainted. Look at this heart, empty and serene. In the center, there must not be a single thing. Wayman speaks very well. Originally, there is nothing. You need to know that originally there is no worry. If you push too hard, you'll go wrong. Hey, a single thought is just business. Cannot add. So for those who practice Zen, chanting a Buddha's name can get tainted, needing to rinse for 3 days. Originally there is nothing, how could a Buddha enter? No service. If there are no Buddhas left, do we chant the Buddha's name? We should. How should we chant? To chant without thought, and to be without thought while chanting is the way. Then that's correct. If you have face, you have obligations. Wrong. Because even in no thought, there is still a state of nothingness. You are mistaken too. If you change the words, you've chanted it wrong. Not chanting is also wrong. How can it be right then? To chant without thought, and to be without thought while chanting is just right. Neither side is fixed. The middle way does not exist. To sit without sitting, and to not sit while sitting, just like the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. It's solidified within the 9 realms. The good deeds of the worldly heart. Engaging in various undertakings. He does not chant without sound. With evil thoughts, he no longer has any concepts. Without sound, it also has no standing. He is writing about body and weight in the 6 realms. It is the same as the perspective of all beings. He is exhausted at the same time. The appearances that manifest have no self. Now this comedic performance reflects compassion. Awaken all beings. Although awakening all beings, there is no thought of awakening all beings. Just as the Diamond Sutra says. Although saving all beings, those who are saved do not arise in thought. He does not have any intention. Often, clouds are used as a metaphor. truly without intention. No thought. Thus, the Buddha's teachings say not to do anything as if there is nothing. Acting without action, yet achieving everything. Without attachment, yet providing assistance in all things. I see. It's about self-confidence. Just a reminder. To use self-confidence to cultivate wisdom, just like you. To desire to expand greatly is to resonate. Heart of a Bodhisattva. This is the mind of enlightenment. So today, let's ask again. We have serious confusion. We have careful verification. We also really want to. Such as the diligence of the Bodhisattvas. Where do I start? You must start by cutting off greed, anger, and ignorance. Both the Buddha's teachings and worldly matters are not straightforward. Don't be greedy in favorable conditions. Secret realms won't be achieved. Start from here. Start from here. Smoothly, the realm is clear and obvious, not delayed. The three good roots: not being greedy, not being angry, and not being ignorant. Cut sloth, cultivate self. What should we cut off? Cut off greed, anger, and ignorance. Cultivate goodness. Cultivate not being greedy, not being angry, and not being ignorant. Start from here, all right. Restore the treasure of our confidence. Because the carbon pool is the most serious among all obstacles. The most serious is to tackle smoking. If we can't achieve today, it means we can't cut down on carbon consumption. So no matter how you study and practice, you still can't find the right path. Spending a lifetime like this will only lead to incomplete blessings. If you don't practice filial piety, the blessings from this postal route won't manifest in the human realm. Think about it in the context of the devil's path. Say, this is the truth. We cannot be unclear. We cannot lack inspiration. The two words Bodhisattva. It's the Indian network. Its meaning. Ancient people had two ways, one of which is to translate the great way for all beings. This is about deliberately making a significant historical event after which one becomes stubborn and emotional. Awaken sentient beings. It's great to have many at the end of the year. Buddha is in the Avatamsaka Sutra. Tell me to blink. Who should it be taught to? The great-hearted ordinary person. In China, the great-hearted ordinary person is the great way, although ordinary people may not give their lives like a bodhisattva. As long as you have a great heart, what do you mean? When you say bodhisattva, you might be startled. I'm not a bodhisattva. I can't claim that. But saying great-hearted ordinary person is fine. I'm just ordinary, but a great heart suffices. A great-hearted ordinary person is a bodhisattva. Whether it's freedom or emotions, we are sentient beings with feelings. And feelings are just troubles. Having feelings means having troubles. The most troubled are those who are awakened. This path is definitely not wrong. It's the direction I'm talking about. Although I haven't yet entered the state of Buddhahood, this direction of your heart is indeed the path to becoming a Buddha. There is no deviation in the angle. Just like navigation in sailing and aviation, a project is very precise. The direction is clear. Although we can't yet see the other shore, we know we can definitely reach safety. So this is the meaning of a bodhisattva. A bodhisattva is a person. Don't get it wrong. A bodhisattva is not a god, nor is a bodhisattva just a heart. A bodhisattva is divine. To put it more clearly, a bodhisattva is an enlightened person. A common person is confused. This makes it easier for everyone to understand. With some people nothing is clear and obvious. Knowing his nightingale, drum bag, what we often refer to as the application drum bag, you can call that a bodhisattva. If you don't understand people, matters, or things, not knowing what's going on is what we call confusion. The name of Kittagaba Bodhisattva. Let's briefly introduce the answer to the question, and below there are also the two characters for this month. This is the root. Here, this is the meaning. Are we talking about his vow? It's not something that was made in this lifetime. We know that all beings have past lives. They also have future lives. That's why we talk about doing good deeds. Kittagaba Bodhisattva made this vow in past lives. There are pasts, and the past is timeless. There is no time for rebirth. This vow has been made in every generation. We call this vow the original vow. This vow is fundamental. It wasn't just made in this lifetime. Love is love. It is a kind of hope. It is a kind of yearning. This need. I hope it can be fulfilled. This is referred to as a breach of contract. If we delve a bit deeper into this meaning, this foolishness is truly like one's nature. And this desire arises from one's nature. This is the true meaning of the original intent in Mahayana teachings. Bodhisattva, the Dharma Body Master, as mentioned in the Avatamsaka Sutra. Already cut off delusions, distinctions, and attachments, right? These have already been completely severed. The so-called breaking of one aspect of namelessness. This aspect arises. Indeed, it is like the realm of the Tathagata in the ancient land. Right, although it's not deep enough. It has already entered. It is already about seeing the true nature of the mind. At this point, the aspiration arises from self-confidence. No realizing true nature. It comes from the 10. Management, running a profitable shop, so we talk about the past tense and multiple lives and stages. All express this aspiration, which comes from the heart. After the people's hearts see their true nature, it is expressed from the original nature. Both meanings can be said as the essence of the source. There are differences in depth. But in terms of usage, very close. In the realm of the four symbols, the infinite worlds are born from this strong aspiration that exists through countless lifetimes. And, for example, it's not easy being swayed by external circumstances. Even if shaken by the outside world, he will quickly return. He will awaken, he will turn back, he can repent. If this fortune it is something that has arisen in this life, or it could be from the past life or 2 lives ago. His strength is shallow. It's easy to be confused by the outside world, and once lost, it's not easy to turn back. Not knowing how to repent shows that his aspiration lacks depth. That is to say, he has no foundation. If there is a foundation, he will definitely turn back. We observe the loyalty and righteousness created by the kings of the 20 generations. When it comes to oneself, one reaps the consequences. When suffering and hell appear, he is able to repent. Being able to be self-aware shows that, in his past lives, he has cultivated strength over countless generations. His experience is quite strong, although he may be confused and lost at times. When it really matters, he can still save himself. This can all be viewed from 4 aspects. If it is the Dharma body Bodhisattva, the vow arising from one's true nature is the genuine original vow, which will not be swayed by external circumstances. Even in this great era, as the Buddha mentioned in the scriptures, speaking of the Dharma is like a constant fire. He too will remain unmoved, unaffected. Well, this is a bit of the essence of the original teaching. Today, time is up, so we'll stop here.